deliberately, because 0 100%, 0 any percent is just a joke in our sort of community. Because 0 is a really difficult category, if only because it's very similar to extreme mode, except the beginning and end. The beginning is completely different, the end is completely different, and those are the two worst parts. So, we're gonna have some fun, though. The estimate for this is 27 minutes. And so, once I know if the timer is all good to go on your guys' end, I'm more than happy to show this off.
Let me just check that for you really quick.
No worries.
Oh, yeah, it is good to go.
Sweet. Okay, in that case, we'll go again in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. So yeah, the beginning is very similar. If you actually noticed at the beginning of the previous one, there's also another branching paths here at the very start. Effectively, the very beginning of this game, it actually branches between 0 and X as well. And so, we're actually going to get one of my favorite sprites in the entire game, which is, you'll see it very soon. So yeah, 0 has his air dash from the very beginning, so he can use it. He was only limited to his Z-Saber. And now we get standing X. I love this sprite. X never stands with his shoulders upright like that. And fun fact, that sprite doesn't exist for the armored version, so they made it just for this. But yeah, now we get to see the upper quarter of this area, which we didn't get to see in extreme mode, because this is Zero's path. But it means that we lock ourselves onto Zero defeating the final boss, or the boss of this area, which is going to be a lot of flashes yet again. So I warn again, flash warning, it's going to be very, very flashy, because every single hit on this boss is apparently its weakness. Every single hit is a weakness, so it's going to flash a lot. And I mean a lot. Like, I don't know why they decided to put so much flashes here. And then we get standing X again. I just love the sprite because it's just like... It's just silently judging you. X is standing here judging you, ASMR. Yeah, that's one of the major differences between the two different categories. We start with a different intro stage and a different intro section because of Zero being completely different. It's really difficult, though, because you actually don't have the, increased defense and armor yet, so essentially every time you throw yourself, you're potentially wasting a lot of health. And you can easily die in that section if you don't take it kind of carefully. Yeah, hope everyone's been enjoying Midwest Speedfest so far. It's been absolutely lovely to see how much support this event has gotten, and I'm really excited to see where this event will go from here on out. I'm honestly really, really glad to see. And yeah, genuinely, that was an amazing Extreme 100% run. That was better than I could have thought I could have gotten in a marathon, to be honest. With 0 any percent, we actually do get +1, but we actually don't get +2. And because we don't get +2, because we just don't have the souls for it, we can actually get some different parts that I use instead, a bit for safety, a bit for other reasons. So we do the same sort of 100% guides we do. We get the heart tank up here, and then I equip +1, and then I go over. Notice how we cannot swap between X and 0 yet. We actually do get to play as X in Zero's mission still, just only in the final stages. Because, confusingly, the plot of this game, if you play the 0 mission or X mission, it's like the incomplete ending of the game, where they're like, oh, I defeat these 4, you defeat those 4, and then we meet back up in the middle, like at the very end. And so, regardless of what story you're playing, well, if you're playing X's mission and get to the end, and Zero's mission and get to the end, you'll actually be able to swap the partner character, who is apparently at full upgrades for some reason. Like, it's assumed that, like, they branched out in paths in these stories, and it's not assumed, which is kind of funky, but it's how it works. I also never got to mention this elevator skip. This is a semi-precise sort of series of air dashes, and it does save time RTA, if done properly, and I got it 2 for 2. Very nice. Yeah, the very beginning of Zero Mission and throughout is pretty similar to Extreme Mode, but the ending is what we really get to see a difference in. The ending is where we all hope and pray for good RNG, because the final boss is basically just RNG. And it's the boss we didn't get to see. So I fought against Berkana, Letter Lady. And so we now get to fight against Saber Sam, we'll call him. Basically Undyne from Undertale with all the just spears thrown at you. And yeah, so the same thing applies for the beginning here. We basically need to get a good pattern on a wire sponge. Hopefully we get a decent pattern. Best pattern we actually got in the extreme mode run, which is pretty rare, to be honest. I am getting hit a lot. I need to not get hit again. Cool. That was nice. Smooth. Oh, fixed? Whoop, sorry. Am I back on Discord?
Yes, you are.
Sorry, that must have been a blip on my end. Oh my god, how am I doing fast text? There is no way I should be able to do this. Oh my god, this is going to be a discovery stream, apparently, for the Extreme 2 crowd, because this is something we cannot get consistently, and yet I'm getting it so well. I don't know. Maybe it is a frame-perfect input like I thought it was. But anyways, I actually bought something unique. I don't remember what exactly it's called. I think it's called a damage barrier. And it effectively increases our invincibility frames. Does not reduce damage, but it means we can play it a bit more risky here if we take damage. And these are all the parts we're actually going to get in this mode. There are no other parts that we get. So this could also possibly PB, because I just got a PB in it yesterday, so hopefully we do good in this one. Yeah, the same sort of skips of cycles there. We can skip that rock if we're fast enough, and I was. Go through here. If there are any donations throughout this, by the way, feel free to shout them out, or shout out, like, different organizations and stuff. This part is very similar to Extreme Mode, so...
Sure. Well, I would love to talk about the incentive that we still have open at the Glitch exhibition for Sonic the Hedgehog 2006. We are looking for $150 for that. We only have 20 of it. So if you're putting your donations in for Able Gamers, do remember to click on those incentives so we can see that awesome exhibition.
Yeah, for sure. I am actually, my main speed game is actually Sonic 06, so please do. I've actually taught Flubler, who's the runner there, a few things about, like, what to do for the Glitch exhibition. He's an up-and-coming runner for Sonic Story, so currently has world record. And I say up-and-coming, I mean, he's kind of already hit it, but whatever. Yeah, I've been running 06 for about 8 years now, and the game is both an amazing as a speed game and just fun to show off glitches that have no purpose for the run, but are just broken as all heck, you know? So more than gonna shout out that run and that incentive.
Oh, the glitches, like, tell us all about them.
I mean, I could say certain glitches. I don't know which ones Flubber is going to do exactly, but I'm hopeful that he can show off some of the multiplayer glitches, because those are arguably the most broken. I showed that off at ESA, and it was a crowd pleaser. Everyone loved it. It's just so much fun to break that game. I'd argue Silver's story, which is not the one being run, is actually the more broken of the stories in general. This section, by the way, I normally would use X in Extreme, but I only have 0, so I have to kind of just brute force it there. And then we get on to Tunnel Rhino with less health, so I need to be a bit safer. Hopefully I can do this. Yeah, but yeah, Sonic 06, a really good speed game. We'll shout out that run and the community in general there. Also, we'll shout out the Mega Man X community in general. Really good, accepting community. Lots of good speed games in the X series. And honestly, I think more people should pick up this game. It's really wonderful. We're gonna gold here. Perfect. What? Are we gonna... Sorry. I'm sorry for freaking out about this. This is something that literally never happens. I'm getting something right in my like state of flow at 6:49 in the morning that is allowing me to get fast text every single time. Oh wow.
100% skill. It's 100% skill.
Yeah. Oh boy. It could genuinely be. We just don't know why it happens.
These are the skills that pay the bills.
Yeah. Hopefully I have a lot of electricity bills since I'm using a CRT, so better hope so. But yeah, this stage is really fun. So remember in Extreme Mode, we actually did this as X. This skip is X. I can do this skip as 0. It is just significantly harder. Because 0 doesn't have an up dash. So in order to get this as 0, I just need to time a regular dash really well. So let's hope, everyone. Let's hope in the chat, because this is going to be a true way to show how good I am at 0. I'm hopeful. Okay, so we're gonna wait up here, we're gonna hit this thing, we're gonna jump back on it so we go back up. Yo! That's sick. Okay, got it. Oh boy, that is much harder as Zero, because if you touch the top of the ceiling, you will die. Or, not die, you will just completely, your momentum will be killed entirely. Whew. That was really good. And so now we get the damage reduction to 0 again. And that makes the rest of this run a lot easier, I'd say. The part of the reason why you also do Goat Catfish before Blast Hornet is to give 0 more health. Or, I guess not that one specifically, because you don't get health from the boss, but it's just to give 0 a little bit more experience, and so that's easier. This mini-boss is worse in Zero's mode, even though it's supposed to be, you know, harder in extreme mode. The fact is, only one thing at a time lights up. And so that means this entire section is a lot slower, because the RNG is 1 by 1 by 1. You have a chance of, you know, only 1 in 4 lighting up instead of 2 of 4. So that means this is actually longer in the regular mode, which is kind of a funny, weird, you know, way that they designed the game. But anyways, we have our B-Boy. We love our B-Boy. Honestly, the game for a Game Boy Color game also looks really beautiful. It's a really clean-looking game for the Game Boy Color. I'm actually playing on a real cartridge, I should mention as well. I don't know if I mentioned that. I'm playing on a Game Boy Player with a Game Boy Advance SP on US Game Boy Player, but the Game Boy Advance is region-free, so all you need is a Japanese cart, which costs like 10 bucks, 15 bucks maybe. Ah, I didn't get fast text there. Ah. Still 2 for 3, which is insane. And now lastly we have Overdrive Ostrich. I need to be a bit more careful here because of my damage barrier, the invincibility frame cycles are a little bit different here. So hopefully I don't... I died in my PB here, so hopefully that doesn't happen again. Yeah, we have the Ride Chaser. Always attack by holding up instead of just pressing B. And enjoy the wonderful, wonderful music of the Game Boy Color. Really underrated handheld, I think. Like, a lot of the games for the Game Boy Color are really good. The Mario Tennis game for the Game Boy Color, excellent. The only game I can't suggest for the Game Boy Color is the first Extreme game. The first Extreme game is basically this game, but worse. It's the only Game Boy Color game I know of that has load times. Oddly enough, every time that we do that autosave where it flashes for us, it actually loaded the cartridge. It went to, like, a thing that says, like, now loading for the original game. Almost died there. Those are also instant kill, and I need to get this jump again. Cool, did it. And yeah, now we get the, this upgrade is not actually used in Zero's story, which is why I wonder why we get it. We don't actually break blocks with our head or anything in this story. But, like, this doesn't really make any sense. Like, why did we get this power-up in Zero's mission if it's not used in Zero's mission? But, you know, I think it's mainly for the extreme mode. Yeah, Erratic, if you have anything else to say, go right ahead. There's a lot of time, really, until we see the unique stuff.
Alright, well, I wanted to talk about some of the bid wars that we still have open. The next one that is coming up is the Super Mario Maker 2 character bid war. Let me tell you, y'all love Toadette because she has a healthy lead with $58. And in second place, we have Luigi with $1.
Wow, okay, no wonder it's healthy lead. I'm like, what could that mean? Surely not. No one else besides one other character has a bid on them. But no, we love Toadette.
Exactly what it means. And I mean, there's no love for Mario or Toad at all. Neither of them have any bids. So if you have feelings about Mario, Toad, or Luigi, as opposed to Toadette, you need to get those donations in.
I missed it. So yeah. So what happens if you missed your final? The animation will play and not hit anything. I was gonna say Toadette is like the epitome of like Iowa or something. I don't know why I wanted to say that, so it's like it's fitting for Midwest Speed Fest. I feel like Toadette would be from Iowa for some reason. I don't know why, just Toadette gives me Iowa vibes.
What about Toadette screams Iowa?
I don't know.
Like,
the pigtails maybe?
The corn? I haven't seen
corn? I guess you could say, yeah, Toadette reminds me of corn, sure.
Oh, do we have time to talk about some more with these bid wars?
Absolutely, go right ahead.
Alright, well, you can choose the file name for the Super Mario RPG. So far, Hobbs is the only one going with $5, so it only takes $6 for you to change that file name on the Super Mario RPG if you would like to choose that name. We also have the bid war going on for the audio language in SpongeBob SquarePants Battle for Bikini Bottom Rehydrated. And you may remember the last time I spoke about it, Polish was in the lead with $20. It has absolutely been outstripped by French at $25. And German is a distant third at $5.
Yeah, so you guys may remember this section from Extreme. I actually did it as Zero now, but because I want to save Zero's health for the final boss here, I'm actually playing as X. And as I mentioned before earlier, because of the way that the plot works in this game for these modes, X is fully upgraded. So we have all of X. We have X's dash, we have X's reduced damage, we have all of everything for X, but we don't want to use X on this boss at all because it's just faster to do it with Zero. So far, this is looking like a healthy PB if I can snatch the final boss, and this is why the final boss is truly why no one runs this category, because so far it seemed pretty fun, pretty smooth. The final boss can kill everything, so this is why we don't run the final boss, or why people don't run this category that often. So now we're gonna do Zero final twice, and that should be good. Cool. Yeah, it's been very fun so far. Thank you, Sporadic, and thank you, Midwest Speedfest, for having me. It's been really just a blast.
I've been having a great time. This is just non-stop excitement.
Yeah, the Womp-Off was great. I'm going to tell you that right now. The Womp-Off, like, wow. Love it. I'm actually also going to switch to X here for the same reasons as before. I want to save more health for the final boss here for Zero, because we're going to do the same method we did before. If I was playing X any percent, I'd actually finish this boss as X, which is a lot harder. I basically stand behind it and shoot at its faces from behind and hope I don't die. That's the strategy for any percent. Which I don't do here because we have Zero, and so using Zero final is just a lot easier. In Zero any percent, you actually wouldn't get Zero final, so you'd have to use Dash, which is the move that you get from defeating Overdrive Ostrich, which is a lot harder. And also, you just have less health, so that's why I don't submit any percent. Also, literally, I think Zero any percent is the only category in the game that doesn't have any submissions to the leaderboards. Yeah, we finished this part as X, so we reduce damage on ourselves. That's effectively how the partner character is used in the individual mission runs. Just as sort of like a barricade so that you can save your own health for the main character for that story, because you've been upgrading them more than the other character, because why would you upgrade the other character in a story if you can't use them until the end? So yeah, this boss is just exactly like Extreme 2, or Extreme mode. The confusing part is there's a game called Mega Man Extreme, which precedes this, and yet there's a mode called Extreme in this game, which is not Extreme 1, it's just the Extreme mode.
I mean, which one is more extreme?
Well, definitely not Extreme 1, but given that it's a DBC game with load times. I'm not going to support that. We do not stand that behavior on this channel. Only use load times where it's necessary, like to load an entire hub board for a single text box like in Sonic 06. I know where my loads are. They're put to good use. Alright, so this is the part where it diverges from Extreme mode. This section right here is very different, and it's significantly harder. You're going to see a few reasons why we don't do this in Extreme 100%. The main reason is we miss out on an armor capsule, which we would need otherwise. So, like, getting that armor capsule is really important anyhow. So, like, using that armor capsule, even though we don't use it, it's necessary to get 100% for Extreme, and so we kind of use it as an excuse to not do Zero section. But even if I finish as X here, I'm actually going to go to Zero section anyway, so I just switch as X so I can keep Zero completely full health for the final boss. We actually fight Gareth instead of Berkana in this area, and Gareth is like the only boss that's not weak immediately to Zero final. So in order to actually defeat this boss, you actually need to use the weakness, which unfortunately is Drill Crush. That's the move you do by hitting down and B, which means somehow you need to, from the air, attack it from below, or above, while you are underneath him most of the time. And most of the time, if you try to use that weapon, or that technique rather is 0, you're going to actually just get hit instead. So it's basically damage buffer and hope you win the boss. But yeah, this section is entirely different. This is what you guys paid your money for, really, in a 0, because this is very different. We did not see this at all in extreme mode. Those lasers are also instant kill, and yeah, there are a lot of really close calls in this if you go really fast, so I'm going to try my best. Joe Crush is really useful to defeat these small enemies, by the way. You can, like, one-hit them that way. I'm going to do a jump here, jump, and then air dash to avoid the wave that comes through and also the lasers below. And here's the point where my heart starts racing. This is a hard section, so I'm just going to concentrate, going to damage boost here, and then just down the A dash. Unfortunately, I got hit again, but that doesn't matter. Okay, this is the part I'm worried about. I'm going to try to, like, fall off here at the right time. That's what I'm worried about. This section is really hard. It's really unforgiving, but I have a save point here. So if all goes lost, I can still probably save time here by just restarting the game and just loading my save. All those lasers are instant kill, which is why I'm trying to be careful with them. Whew, there we go. This can still easily PB for me, as long as we get Gareth first try, which is easier said than done. I have full health, though, which is actually nice. You do want full health for this boss, so... Time ends once we are defeated Gareth. Another reason why we don't do this is you saw the intro cutscene to this area is a bit longer than X's. X says, "I'm gonna get you, Berkana," and this is like an entire like monologue with Iris and Zero, and they're just like, "Oh, Zero, be careful," and Zero's like, "Oh, don't worry, I'll be careful." Yeah, this is the weakness. And I'm done. Well, I didn't expect to finish that quickly. That's a really good 0-100% run. I don't know if that's world record. Let me check. That's like the best Gareth you could have gotten. If I didn't die there, that could have been, I think, definitely world record. I'm going to check right now. On my end, that's a 21:20, which is 2 minutes ahead of the PB I got yesterday, so... That's how much we hate Gareth in this game. So let's check and see. No, but it is second place. So that was a really good 0-100% run. I am happy to say. Unfortunately, we didn't actually get my favorite screen in the game, which is X's ending. X's ending makes him look like he's just completely uninterested. Like, he's not even, he's like trying to smile, but can't smile because of the Game Boy limitations, which is kind of funny. But yeah, that's Extreme 2. That was really fun to show off. For like more Mega Man X stuff, I run some other Mega Man X games. I also run Sonic 06. You can follow me on twitch.tv/FocusSight, FocusSight. But please keep donating. Have we actually broken our record yet for Midwest Speed Fest? Like, what's the donation total currently?
Currently we are sitting at 5,000. Let's see. I have to do some math here because we have this, like, invisible $50.
Oh no, invisible $50.
So it's 5,114, I believe.
Oh, we're $18 off from our record, guys. This is gonna be really cool to hit. We're gonna hit this and we're gonna go through. Yeah, so please keep donating.
It's very, very close. Yes, and congratulations on that second place. That is still very, very exciting.
That is really good. That's a pretty good time for 0-100%, I'd say.
We also have somebody in the chat claiming that 20 bucks.
Thank you! You forced me to play the harder category, and I did it pretty well, so... Yeah, my gold is only 8 seconds faster. That is really good. I think I also got golds for the other category I ran, so thank you guys so much for having me. That was much better than I think it could have gone. Oh wow, my sum of best now for Extreme 100% is now below 38 minutes. That's only a minute off world record. So, I will take that. Yeah, thank you guys so much for having me. Keep watching, keep donating. We're gonna hit this and crush this record. Thank you so much, Erratic, for your hosting. It was really fun. That was more enjoyable than I could have ever expected for a 7 a.m. run.
It was fabulous. It was my pleasure.